What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and welcome back to Space Engineers Survival 2025. This is episode number 43, and we're just chilling aboard the AMG Snowstorm, looking out at the destruction of last episode. You can see the fire, you can see the ion thrusters, and you can see the destroyed ship that's right in front of us that we destroyed in the last episode, the Bengal Destroyer. In this episode, we're going to spend the first part of the episode doing a little bit of work to the Snowstorm, taking bits from the Bengal Destroyer here and converting them to AMG Snowstorm pieces. Most notably, we have a couple ion thrusters on the side right there that you might see. We got 4 right there. And then in the back, there are those larger ion thrusters as well that I would like to move on over to the AMG Snowstorm so that we have ion capabilities instead of just hydrogen. So if we go outside, let's let that door close behind us so we don't vent all the air. If we go outside, you'll see what I've done a little bit off camera. Now, I didn't do a crazy amount of anything really. I just did a little bit of planning here by removing some blocks and by adding in one of these ion thrusters. I didn't build it up or anything. I just put it in here to see kind of what it would look like. And I'm thinking that'd be kind of a cool idea to kind of add an ion section or something ion off the side. And it doesn't have to be just a simple little bubble thing like that. We could even expand it to come all the way down here. We could maybe add some forward-facing ion over here. I'd like to just kind of think of ways that we could do this and then try and get this built up. And then later in the episode, if we have enough time, we might even go after one of these unknown signals over here, which of course these correspond to prototech bases. So again, if we have the time, we'll go to a prototech base, see what we can find. All right, so ion thruster. Do I like this design right here? It's not bad. It's not bad at all. One of the notable things is that this has this being a turret instead of this. So I would remove that turret and add it there instead. And what that would allow me to do is of course finish up this design so it doesn't look a little weird like that. However, let me think about this. Well, first of all, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this turret right here so we have a little bit more space to play with. So let's get rid of that guy right there. It's gonna drop ammo, but luckily it should just plop right there with a very loud bang. Very good. And let's think about this design here. So I kind of like what we have going here, but I almost think I want to bring it up and over like that instead of just being like it is here. So let me get a couple steel plates and see what I can do with that to try and make a decent design here. I think I kind of like the idea of carrying this right here forward as a normal block like that. So let me build that up right there. There we go. And then let's start removing some of these. In fact, I might even remove all of that right there. Oh, okay, hang on. I kind of like this. So it kind of like comes down and then up. Like, so these kind of meet right there. I kind of like that. And then this right here would meet up with that as well. So let's go ahead and remove some of these. These are light, so I can do, and we're gonna of course remove some oxygen. That's fine. It happens. You know, you can't make a cake without breaking a couple of eggs. All right, I kind of like this right here. I think this actually fits pretty nicely. We're gonna need to remove this and move that over to this one, which I don't think will be that difficult. If we go down here and go into here, ooh, hang on now. It might be a little difficult. Might be more difficult than I had thought. Well, let me think. Let me think for a second. This is all heavy armor. All right, just a couple simple modifications. It's gonna take a couple trips, but there we go. Just moving our hydrogen thrusters to a different area right here. Now those are gonna be off for now, but that's okay. We'll turn them back on in just a second. All right, this is starting to look pretty good for a little area right here, I think. And we're gonna basically put our thrusters right here. So we're probably gonna need to remove these. And probably also, I mean, I'd love to have my thruster right there. I think that'd be perfect. And I think something like that would actually be pretty good, having an ion thruster kind of all the way back there. And then we do the same thing on the other side. And that, we need to remove this guy because we no longer need this. So let me come back here and remove this. Could do something like that as well. Okay, and that would be kind of our stopping thrusters. I mean, that sort of gives us stopping thrusters as well as forward thrusters in this. I actually do kind of like that. And that gives us a little bit of room down here where we could add back our doors if we want them. Although, hang on now. I mean, if I have that thruster going toward the front, I kind of want to have it on the front of this section, of this big wing. So you know what? Let's do that. Let's remove this light armor piece. And let's actually put our thruster down here. There we go. I kind of like that. So now that leaves us a little bit of room where we could do something like this. We can go thruster, thruster, or actually even... Let's go thruster, 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 thruster. A little bit of side thrusters on the side here. There we go. Okay, it's a little wild, but I think I kind of like it. I think I kind of like where we're going with this. All right, I've addressed the spaghetti a little bit. There was some spaghetti over here. And I have addressed it. So now we should still be pressurized. Everything should work fine, except if I go up here, I should now have a clear path all the way over into here, which I can remove this ladder shaft. I no longer need it. And instead I can have, well, I mean, I guess I can put something up here. I don't really know if I want to put something up here, but yeah, this will be where our door is going to go. So what we'll do then is we'll go to our door section, and I'm going to plop I could plop lab doors. Okay, doors. I'm not going to plop a lab door right there. I'm going to go with I could go with a round one, but I'm not going to go with a round one right now. I'm going to go with one of these. One of the standard ones that we've had for going outside. It's over there. Flip it around this side, and then once that's built up, I could plop a lab door on the front of that, and that wouldn't look so bad. Okay, there you are. And then get our one that required girders right here. Okay, perfect. And now we can actually come inside here. Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe this was not the best idea. So in absence of that being the best idea, what I'll do instead is this. I'm gonna go with a heavy armor block right here because I think it's probably warranted being right next to these explosives. So there's our heavy armor, and then for the door, we're gonna go ahead and plop it kind of like this. And it'll work. It's not ideal. In fact, is there a better place to put it on this side? No, not really, because it's kind of a corner, so it's a little difficult. So we'll just pop it like this. All right, there we go. And this door will come down. Again, it works. And this one right here will go out to here. That goes that way. That's fine. And then this will go down basically to whatever level you want to go to. All right, now essentially what we have here would be just a bunch of dead space, which is the name of a game that terrified me as a kid. I'm gonna fill out this area, but thinking about it, I do have a lot of room right here that I could put something. I don't know what I'd put there, but we do have that room that I don't think I'm gonna fill out quite yet. So for now, let's remove those guys because I need to figure out how I want to do this thing. But essentially, this will come out this way. In fact, you know what? Maybe I'll do something cool like this. Let's go with that block, bring that in like so, and then bring it in like that. And I think that would look kind of neat. I think I'd also like to put one of my favorite little things right here because it'll save me a little bit of space or a little bit of back and forth. So let's go ahead and put one of them right there if we can. I'm gonna put this back, grab everything for that, and then grab everything for that. And then we have this right here, which again doesn't save us a crazy amount of space because we did have one on the other side of that, but it will save us a little bit of space. And for that, I will be eternally grateful very soon. All right, let's continue building this thing up. And of course, after we build it up to one side, we're gonna have to build it up to the next side. Are you not connected right now? I think you might not be connected right now. Aha, you're not connected right now. And the reason you're not connected right now is because of this guy. There we go, so now you're connected, which means let's get you connected. There we go, you should be connected now. And let's see if that's the case. Try and grab a couple steel plates. Perfect, okay. Now let's continue working from here and see what we can do. See what we can accomplish. Again, after one side's done, we'll have to do it to the other side. Oh no, I'm trapped. Whatever happens if you get trapped in here? I don't know, I guess you come down this, ah! All right, note to self, don't fall down a hatch, basically. I wonder if I can do, would it make sense to do this? I don't think so. I think if I did one and then started doing that, that would make a little bit more sense. And then I'd need to do this one, right? No, not that one. I mean, I think we're onto something here. I think this doesn't look too bad. Let's try it. Let's weld up a couple of these because they're very hard to see when they're still unwelded. And we'll see what this looks like in the grand scheme of things. I'm pretty sure these will probably get destroyed by the things, right? I actually don't know. I don't know if those will get destroyed. If those do not get destroyed by the ion thrusters, then we're in business. Oh, I'm gonna run out of energy. Uh-oh. Let's go to this place. It's a risky world out here in space, but luckily we have a little bit of energy right over here. In fact, we're not even losing health once we're inside because we can breathe. We can breathe a sigh of relief. All right, we're still working on the exterior of the ship here, trying to get it in a nice, decent state so we can take some parts off of the Bengal destroyer over here. But I mean, it's getting to a pretty good state. I think that's not bad. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the back and the top and anything like this. All right, this first one is pretty much done at this point. You know what it could really use is some upward facing thrusters, but it's probably fine. I mean, we could put them here. Well, actually, no, not here because that's where that is. But if I did this, I could put them there. Yeah, a couple of ion thrusters right there. Now, we wouldn't have too many, but it would, I mean, you know, it'd give us a couple. It's not bad. Okay, we need to start doing the other side as well. And then after we do that, we need to actually bring the ion thrusters themselves over, which is going to be the fun part. But anyway, yeah, let's start doing this one. That's going to involve taking down this turret right here and removing its ammo, of course. And then now that we have the design, it shouldn't be too hard to actually just go ahead and move it on over. So let's go ahead. Oh God, okay. In some areas it does look weird. Like right here, for instance, we could do something like, I don't know, something. All right, I definitely broke pressurization in this room, but we're gonna break it even more before it's fixed finally, so might as well keep breaking it. Where did we come in just now? Probably through here. Okay, let's keep doing this. Boom. Weld that up. Boom. Weld that up. This is a massive undertaking, but we will get through it. It will just take a little bit, but we will. Don't worry. Don't you even worry. That's a light armor slope. Perfect. We like light armor. Let's go ahead and paint that as well to be consistent with our nice paint scheme. I guess the real big question is am I gonna run out of steel plates before I'm able to finish all this stuff? Question, or the answer might be yes, I don't know. Okay, hydrogen thrusters are moved. We're getting that way. We're almost there. Let's get this guy. I mean, we're almost there. I mean, we're not really almost there, but we're, you know, progress is being made slowly but surely. Almost. I was about to say all right, but I've pivoted to an almost because we're almost done with this stuff. Well, until we have to actually move over the thrusters themselves. But, you know, I mean, it's starting to look pretty good except for this little camouflage block. I don't know what is going on there. Alrighty, we're pretty good. I mean, we're in a good state. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2, which would be 12 small thrusters and 4 large thrusters to build, and that's going to give us ion thrust in at least 4 directions. I mean, at most 4 directions too. Exactly 4 directions. We will be missing a couple of directions. We'll be missing. No, we'll be getting in the up direction too. We'll be missing the downward direction though, unfortunately, and there's not an easy way I can resolve that just with this little area. So let's go ahead and get the thrusters themselves thrown in here. So this is probably going to be a job for the not the wildebeest, the barista. I think the barista with grinders on it is going to serve as a very good option to weld down those thrusters as opposed to welding them with my grinder. The only problem with welding them with my grinder is even if I go to a small one, like let's take this one, for example. This is a small one. You see, it's gonna be multiple trips, and that's only, well, it's gonna be 2 trips, basically. It's just not as bad as I was thinking just now, but it's still not ideal, right? I don't wanna well, it'll be 3 trips. Well, hang on. Okay, it'll be 2 trips. And that right there gives us, you know, one warfare ion thruster. So, yeah, I'd rather use the barista for this job because I think it'll be a little bit easier. So let's hop inside here. Let's make sure that we refill our stuff down here before we go up and grab the barista. Here's our stuff. And then the barista is gonna require a couple modifications. We're gonna need to take off the little drill arms and instead put on grindy arms. The drill arms, goodbye. And you know what? Here's what I'll do actually. Let's do one side grind and one side weld. And we'll do it like this so that we don't have to actually swap them out once we're ready to swap them. So there's our grinding side. There's our welding side. Let's hop inside the barista here. Let's go into tool blocks rather. Make sure we're on the grinding side. And then let's go ahead and disconnect. We've got plenty of hydrogen in here. What I do need to do real quick before I go completely is open this door. There we go. That should be opening any second now. I'm gonna wait until that loses all of its air. But let's get ready to go. And we'll be able to do a little bit of the grinding. Yeah, there we go. Be enough space. All All right, let's head out. Okay, so we're looking for, and hopefully this doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. Let's just hide empty here real quick. Yeah, it's got nothing on it. We're looking for anything that is a, look, we have a lot of ion thrusters right there. But all these big ion thrusters right here, we're gonna go ahead and grab. Pretty much all of these, actually, we're gonna go ahead and grab. So let's get them. Starting with these guys in the back here. And it might take a little bit for us to actually get them because grinding is rather slow in this, but it is grinding 3 things at once. So it's, you know, forgive it if it takes a second. Okay, so we're gonna get these guys and then we can immediately reposition them on the Snowstorm. Unfortunately, that's gonna render this ship not flyable. Some people were saying that we could convert this into a little drone ship to follow us, but there are a couple problems with that. First of all, the ship's not gonna be flyable once we remove all of its ion thrusters. And second of all, the ship will not have a jump drive, meaning if we ever wanna use our jump drive on our normal ship and we have the follow thing enabled, I don't think it'll jump with us because it doesn't have a jump drive. So we could always like attach it to our ship, but then that lowers the distance we're allowed to jump and, you know, problems. So anyways, let's keep doing this. Grabbing everything that we possibly can here. I'm a little bit afraid of if I bump this ship and I've removed all of its thrusters, it'll start flying. But so far that doesn't appear to be an issue. All right, we've removed all but one of its thrusters. I'm gonna leave that for now so I don't send this ship flying. Let's swap out to the welder. Actually, you know what? We don't have a gun on this thing, so we can have one of these be the grinder and one of these be the welder. No problem at all. So let's hop up here and let's start welding in some of our things. We'll start with these small guys. Why not? And this is gonna be really nice because this means we will, now it won't be fast, but this means we'll be able to maneuver the Snowstorm without the use of hydrogen. So if we're out of ice, no worries. We can actually still move the Snowstorm to a decent location. Again though, it won't be fast because these are ions, and ions you typically need a lot of. Although I guess we can always test this speed once we have this thing built up. Let's get this larger one in here. We should be able to get both of the larger ones on this side and then the rest of the smaller ones on this side too. There we go. There's our large thruster in that direction. And hopefully that doesn't destroy the blocks there. 2 more ion thrusters coming right up at the top right here. And then finally, we just have the other large ion thruster to get on this side. And then we'll be able to get the ones on the other side. And here we go. This is gonna be the last ion thruster on this side. Perfect. So let's go ahead and get a little bit more ion thrust from this guy. And then we'll go and get the rest of the ones that we're missing on the ship. And so again, I don't want to destroy everything on this ship because I don't want to start drifting off into space while I'm working on it. But things like this one right here and then a couple of these upward facing ones over there will be good. As long as I leave one in each direction, it won't float away. There's a little bit of tasty railgun in here too. Don't mind if I do. Snowstorm could always use a couple of railguns. Okay, I ate some more thrusters. Let's go and try and use those on the Snowstorm over here. Starting, of course, with our 4 ion thrusters in the back. Let's see if we can get all these welded up with what we've got so far. Looks like the answer is going to be yes for these guys. So there are those. Just waiting for it to finish up welding there. There we go. Okay, let's get the large thruster back here. Oh, we weren't able to get the whole large thruster. Okay, so we're missing something. Actually, I'm curious. What are we missing down here? Is it going to be thruster components? It is gonna be thruster components. Okay, so we need to go find more thruster components. And I could just grab that large thruster there at the risk of the entire ship floating away, but I think maybe it's worth it. I guess we'll try it. There we go, there's that entire one. So let's go and weld up. I think I'm gonna weld up the front one real quick. Because I know that one's an entire thruster and we need to get some weight off of our ship here. There we go. I'm gonna use this actually to weld it up once we put the materials in because this goes a lot faster, I think. Yeah, it definitely does go a little bit faster. There we go. All right, hopping back in here. We have just 2 more thrusters on the top and then the back thrusters as well. Now, how much do each of these thrusters right here give me? That's the real question. So you guys each give me about 80 thruster components, which means I should need only like 6 of these maybe. That will be good. All right, there we go. That was 4. Isn't bad. We can get this other one as well here real quick. Hopefully this is not all of the thrusters that are on the side. And yep, there we go. So there are those. And then we just have the final remaining large thruster in the back, which I might be able to get. We did get a couple more of these things. Don't know if it's building it all the way up. Let's see. I think it's still missing a couple things. Let's see. Yeah, we need 2 more thrusters worth of stuff. Well, I know just where to find those. We only have 23% hydrogen, so we need to be careful. All right, there we go. I'm being very careful with my hydrogen because if I use my downward facing thrusters, it gets rid of so much of our hydrogen. That is not even funny. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go into the landing bay here and I'm just gonna manually do the rest of the stuff because we are very low on hydrogen and I'd love to get back safe and sound. There we go, there's our nice little connection and let's go and finish this guy up. Okay, so right click him to get the thing in our build planner. Let's get the rest of the stuff in here and it's just gonna take 2 trips. There's the 1 and then here is the 2. Perfect. No problem at all. All right, so the AMG Snowstorm now has the ability to go with just these guys, which is very good. That means that we no longer have to use as much of our hydrogen. We still have to, of course, use some hydrogen, but not nearly as much. All right, the next thing I'm curious about doing, actually, I would love to get some downward facing ones too, if I could. I don't know if I can, though. I mean, obviously I can, but I don't know where. I mean, this might not be a bad idea if I do it like this. I could do something like that right there, and then I can put my little ion thrusters, and we'd have the same number of ion thrusters in the downward direction as we have in the upward direction if I do this. So that's another plus. But there, put one right there and put one right there, and then come maybe do like this. And then something like that. I think that kind of fits nicely. All right, on each side, we now have 2 downward facing thrusters, which means the entire AMG Snowstorm is ion capable at this point. You can drive it in ion mode only if you would like. Okay, one other thing that I noticed while I was scrapping a little bit of the Bengal ship right here is that it did have railguns, and I would love to use a couple of those railguns for my own purposes. So what I was thinking is kind of like, why don't we just throw a railgun thing up here? Where? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. What if, hear me out now, we remove that, and then we built a little railgun thing right here, so that there are 2 railguns that this ship could use. So here's what I'm thinking. We go something like that, and then something like, oops, I don't know where that went over there for some reason. Something like that, and then something like that. Yeah, build those up like that. And then right here, we'll have our little railgun thing. So instead of this being one of these, I think we're gonna use a full block. Just for these main blocks right here, we're gonna have full blocks. All right, here is what I'm thinking. So if I put that there, and then grab my railguns, I should be able to do something like this, where I can stick a railgun right there. And so this is dangerous to fire while moving, because it's possible we'll shoot our own ship. But while standing still and unable to place, why, I wonder? Oh, I see why. Is this gonna, okay, yeah. Well, in that case, let's go up 1 block and then do this. So if I go right here and right here, we'll now have 2 railguns on the AMG Snowstorm, and they're not very well defended, not yet, but this will help us out a little bit, I think. So instead of this stuff going down, we'll actually have this stuff go up. Starting right there, there, and there. We'll go up on either side. So here, here, and here, we'll go up, and we'll keep going up like this. I feel like I'm selling an AMG Snowstorm. It's like, buy now, you'll get the Snowstorm now with railguns. Okay, we're adding this right here. I don't know how this is gonna add to the overall profile. In fact, I think maybe what I wanna do is start this a little bit further back, like maybe back here. Start that going up, and then right here. This one's 2 in front of it, so you start back here.
No.
Oh no! We're out of energy. Okay, no, this is not a problem. We can go in through here. Actually, no, we have this thing right here. Okay, perfect. I gotta keep watching my energy, man. This is risky. All right, I am using all of my steel plates, of course, but I think I kind of like this railgun holder. I don't know what to call it, really. But yeah, that's basically what it is. Ow, oh my gosh.
Critical.
I gotta remember, we have like 2 gravity right now because both of the gravity generators are contributing. All right, this is the abomination that I threw on top of the AMG Snowstorm right here. It's got the railguns in this cool little, I don't know, thing that will hopefully keep them somewhat defended. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think this is, you know, not bad. You can shoot this, which is bad. You can shoot that, which is bad. We need to actually get the railguns built up too, which will take maybe a couple trips, but let's right-click both of these. I bet you we can do this by hand pretty easily because we have all the railgun stuff in here. It's just gonna take a couple superconductor trips and stuff like that. Let's see. So there's one trip. How many will it take for one? I'm guessing probably 3 trips. Oh shoot, we need power cells too, don't we? Oh man, okay, it's gonna take a lot of trips. Maybe I should have done this with the barista. Okay, this should be the last trip for one of them. Maybe one more trip after this. Man. Okay, there's one of them. Now, can I do some magic right here? Yes, I can. Let's do this. This will make it a lot easier to get this other one built up. It just takes a couple trips. It took me like 12 trips for the previous one, but here we go. We're able to get this one up pretty quickly. Well, we should be able to in just a second. We need to get all the power cells, which takes a couple trips, but any second now, this next one will be up and running. All right, there we go. So we now have 2 railguns back on the AMG Snowstorm, and I think that's not bad. Back to 2 railguns. Okay, let me grab all the stuff for that. There we go. All right, not bad at all. Can this design be a little bit better? Maybe. I really wanted to put the railguns kind of in the middle though, because if they're on the side, it's really hard to hit things. I guess I could have also put them, you know, somewhere up here, but we didn't really have a lot of space. Before, we actually had them down here, which again, could fit maybe if we could put them down here, but I don't know. It seemed a little easier to throw them up there. But let me know what you think of that. I think it's not too bad. It looks cool at least, which is half the battle, right? But with all that building, I think that's where we're gonna end this episode. We did take a lot of the stuff from the Bengal ship here, and we put it on our ship. Maybe there are a couple loose ends that we could tie up here, making it look a little bit nicer, but I'll probably go through off camera and tie up a couple loose ends here. I don't think I'm gonna change any of the overall design. Maybe I'll do a couple slight modifications, but when we come back next episode, we'll be completely ready to go and chase down some of these Prototech things. That one's actually really close by, so maybe it'll still be active in the next episode and we'll go to it. I think it still has at least 30 minutes if it doesn't have a timer on it, so that's good. But anyways, let me know what you think about our design modifications for the AMG Snowstorm here. We might even change the name to the AMG Solar Storm or the I don't know, the Plasma, I don't know, something. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be the end of this episode. A complete building episode, this one, but I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like. If you didn't, drop a dislike. And if you'd like to comment down below for suggestions for future episodes, you can do that. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? It's time. Today's the day that you become subscribed. If you want, that is. But anyway, if you'd like to become a YouTube member or a patron, there are links below in the description where you could get your name in the end credits. You can get early access to videos, and for some of the tiers, you might even get a shout out at the end of the video. So for the shout outs of this video, we're gonna shout out Iron Helix, Silent Contender, and Heretical John. Thank you very much for your support, and thanks everyone who's watching these for your support as well. It means a lot. It's you guys who let me keep doing this. So thank you very much for your support, everybody. And with that, I will see you all in the next episode of Space Engineers Survival.